Okay, and this is the second match. This is a 4-player heads-up tournament, so it's like a winner-takes-all situation. This is actually the kind of thing I was doing when I started my bankroll from nothing. Like I literally had $0, won the free roll, won one of these for $8 and rolled it into like 260 now, I think it is. Get this bet sizing from our new, and this is a new opponent, and he won his first match, so he might be a little better than your average micro stakes player. He might be. I would love to peel here, but I think the bet sizing is just too big. So let's look at some of the things that he might be doing wrong and see if we can capitalize on his mistakes and tendencies. Stuff he does wrong. He's playing a little tight, maybe pre-flop. He might, he's open folded already. A non-0%, so we can tighten up our range a little bit against his open raises. It'd be interesting to see if he limps some of the time. Definitely a call here, and this is a spot where I'm really hoping he doesn't bomb it. We have a ton of equity. He's going to c-bet probably almost his entire opening range. I think we can just call here and look for an 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen sort of thing to happen on the turn. He's not barreling, and that's kind of a bad card, but I don't think it's going to stop us from value betting. I think we could have went a little bit smaller than that because he's going to probably have more like Jack X than Ace X, and the heart, the third heart coming in, the straight card, because we did have a straight, we know there's a straight possible. We almost kind of turned our hand into a bluff there, so I'm not real thrilled with that sizing. I think we should have went a little bit smaller. And this is just a hand that I would normally flat call with, but I kind of just want to test out and see what he does against the 3-bet. See how he's playing against the 3-bet. I remember thinking that, like, because, if I get called, so be it, no big deal. I've got a king and a 10, and the betting lead should be fine. A lot of times when you 3-bet somebody, they tend to 3-bet you the next hand, so if you got something cuspier in between, it might be best to just open fold it. So the fact that he's opening 3 times the big blind when he opens, and that he's open folding quite a bit, means we've got to be pretty selective about the hands that we continue with. Now he's donking into us, and I think our hand just has too much equity to fold, and we kind of improved our equity, but it looks like it kind of improved his range also. So this is going to be a tricky decision. Now we just hope it goes check, check, but if not, I think we just have to fold. We maybe could have folded on the turn here. So we don't think he's playing super aggressively. And this is just a clear value 3-bet. Real bad board. We could turn our hand into a bluff and just bet it. Or we can check and either hope to get it to showdown or induce a bluff. We could maybe bet for value against like a 3. Yeah, I think we'd now just have to check, and if he bets, we've got to fold. Because if he understands showdown value, some of the hands he was trying to get to showdown would be like king high. There's basically nothing that we beat here that should be playing this way. I mean, I could see him definitely taking free cards off with like king 10, king queen. Maybe trying to get to showdown with like, I don't know, just a king high. Or like a king 3 suited. There's just not much that we beat there. I think it's real bizarre that he chose to donk bet this flop, and I think most of the time he's got a club draw here. But he'll have the occasional 7x. Some players do that. I've seen it. And then we've got the backdoor draw, but, runner, Broadway, not worth it. This guy seems to be quite a bit better than the first opponent. The first opponent was pretty terrible. Had glaring leaks. Now, usually when players take a long time to check, they're checking to fold, and that's why I elected to check back and see if we could get him to come up with something on the turn he can pay us off with, or turn, or just make some kind of a bluff on the turn. Because when he takes just forever and checks, this is something that you see all the time. Players take forever and then check. They're almost always checking to fold. It's like they're trying to discourage you from betting, sort of acting like they're thinking about betting themselves. And if they quickly check, they're usually checking to call. It's like a mediocre hand. And here, I think we go kind of small and hope to get looked up by like a 9 or an 8. I mean, he's not probably going to fold like a 9-8, so, but he doesn't have that because really we're looking to get called by a 6 is about it. Because or like maybe a 4, pocket 5s maybe. Yeah, mostly he's just going to fold. When he takes on that flop, he's just almost never got anything. That's not just him. I mean, that's like everybody that plays, I would say 25 and or under seems to do that. I've caught myself doing it. Even though I almost never donk bet, so it really doesn't make sense that I would be considering. Oh, now we're just going to make a move here. And we expect him to bet his entire range, more or less, on that ace-5-7. So we're just going to, and now it's even less likely that he's actually got an ace. And when we check and call on that flop, we basically rep sets and top pairs. We haven't done anything like this so far, so I think this is a fine time to just try to make a move and take it. If he doesn't have an ace, he's going to have a real hard time coming up with a call. Even if he had something as strong as 2 pair on the flop, he just got counterfeited, and the only thing he can beat at this point is a complete bluff. So I don't remember if this works, but I think it was I like the fact that I was trying it. He seems just good enough to maybe find a fold here. And I mean, I would prefer if I had some kind of equity, even I don't know, like some kind of flush draw or something. But sometimes the situation is just so good, and the game flow is just at that perfect moment where the game flow dictates the move more so than like the cards in your hand. I think this is another spot I just have not been 3-betting a lot, so 4-3 offsuit's certainly not going to be strong enough to call with for value, but it's kind of close, and so I think that we can sometimes 3-bet it as a light 3-bet, mostly if it was like suited, but I just also felt like the game flow, the timing was right. So when the timing's right, you can maybe adjust your standards a little bit. Definitely an aspect, and heads up especially, where you are not just playing your cards, you're really playing your opponent, you're playing the player. Okay, there should be that should hit his range pretty good. He should have draws, he should have like 8x and 10x, and I think he just call. Some of the draws got there, but I think we still have to call. He could definitely be donking something like an 8 or a 10 and then barreling a 10, probably like a 10 at this point. Or he could have had like a queen jack. This is a 6-6 spot. I don't really know what the right move is here. I think most of the time we ought to just fold. There was something, I mean, when somebody donks though, they're going to have probably more second pairs and like weak pairs than they are anything else. So, you know, and a lot of the draws did miss. There you go, like a top pair with a weak kicker. Little surprised to see him have that. That was a really terrible line he took. Donks top pair with a weak kicker, and then barrels off when he's basically, not basically, he is turning his hand into a bluff. I mean, I almost folded kings, so Now, if he puts me on kings, good bet.